both elected at the general election in July 2024, the five of us all knew that we had achieved something truly remarkable through starting the process of breaking the two-party system that has strangled and suffocated Britain for so very long. It was a special moment, and it was an honour to walk into that building as part of our group of 5 MPs. I treasured that then, and despite everything, I still treasure it today. However, now in 2026, we're in a very different place. The landscape has changed dramatically. Our differences over the last 18 months are well documented. I do not agree with how you remove me from reform, but let's not recycle those same arguments again and again. I want to move past that. The country we both love is changing beyond recognition. Millions of people feel like strangers in their own communities. They work hard, pay their taxes, obey the law, and yet they see no fair reward for any of that. They see a patriotic right hopelessly divided. They see hard work punished and indolence rewarded. That is why today I'm reaching out to put personalities and our past disagreements aside for the good of the country we all so want to succeed. To ask one simple question: how can we restore Britain? If we agree on 5 fundamental principles, then I believe we can, should, and must find a way of working together in some form to make it a reality. Reform has taken a path that has moved its core offering away from what I believe is necessary to restore our country. On many issues, we agree. On others, we do not. But I'm hopeful that a common way forward can be found and forged. But any agreement or cooperation must be based on the following values, policies, and vision. First, restoring our borders. Ending mass immigration is not enough. The hour is just too late for that. It must be reversed. As you know, Restore Britain has taken the unprecedented step of publishing the most comprehensive deportation policy ever produced in British politics. That plan must be implemented in full and to the letter. Every illegal migrant must be deported, and yes, that must include women and children. Our plan has outlined exactly how that can be achieved within one parliament. You previously stated that mass deportations are a political impossibility. Not only must mass deportations become a political possibility, mass deportations must become a political inevitability. They must all go. Legal immigration has caused even more damage. Restore Britain's policy is simple but sound. If a foreign national is living in Britain, yet unable to speak English, refuses to work, lives in social housing, hates our way of life, or even wants to do us harm, they have abused our generosity, are incompatible with our high trust society, and they should be made to return to their own countries. There will be those in reform who do not agree with the robust nature of such measures, but I believe it is entirely necessary. Millions must go. Second, restoring our demographic security. It is projected that white Britons will become a minority by 2063. Nothing demonstrates the demographic vandalism of mass immigration more than that. importing millions of people from third world nations, is changing our population in a way none of us ever wanted or voted to support. It is unacceptable and it cannot be allowed to happen. We must be unafraid to grasp that nettle. However painful the establishment backlash may be, Restore Britain has committed to reversing the Islamification of Britain, and that will not change. The level of influence that Islam is exerting, even now, on our Christian way of life is unacceptable. Any future cooperation must include the banning of both halal and kosher slaughter, the burqa, cousin marriage, mass dominating public Islamic prayer, Sharia courts, and any other barbaric foreign practices that have no place in our high trust society. Britain is a Christian country, and we must ensure it remains that way. If we cannot agree on that, then there is simply no way forward. The recommendations from our independent rape gang inquiry must be implemented in full. That includes the deportation of foreign national accomplices who were aware of these heinous crimes and yet failed to act. I know you have publicly disagreed and that this was the source of our previous difference of opinion, but it is a firm red line. If a Pakistani woman knew her husband was repeatedly gang raping a vulnerable white English girl, yet failed to act, she should be sent back to Pakistan. I hope her husband is not so fortunate, that will ensure we leave a better Britain to our grandchildren than the one that was handed to us. Fifth, restoring the country's faith in politics. The British people have entirely lost faith in Westminster. That trust will not be restored by recycling the same ministers, advisors, and thinking that created today's problems. Former Conservative ministers who failed our country and our people in so many appalling ways must not be part of any future cabinet. They had their chance and they failed us all. That must not be rewarded with a second opportunity. These principles of restoration will be offered to the British people on the ballot paper at the next general election, with or without your cooperation. My sole aim through Restore Britain is the implementation of a properly considered policy programme that will start the process of desperately needed restoration for our once great country. I do not care how that is done. I only care that it is done. So Nigel, my message is simple. If you are prepared to work together around serious policies, serious reform, and serious government, then so are we. Not because it's politically convenient for Restore Britain, not because it's personally easy. After the events of the last 18 months, I would certainly rather not be making this offer. But millions and millions of British people deserve a patriotic government that puts our national interest before any personal differences that you and I may have. If you disagree, that is your choice. Restore Britain will be ready for what comes regardless. I truly believe there could be sufficient common ground for our two movements to cooperate collectively, destroy the looming left-wing alliance that will finish off what hope remains for this country. We have recently shown how effectively cooperation can work locally on the Norfolk County Council. So why not at national level? In my view, failing to even try because of our own personal difficulties is simply not an option. The British people deserve nothing less than our best and sincere efforts to make it happen. Now is the time to put our differences aside and cooperate for the good of the country that we all love.
Well, Paul, good morning. How are you, mate?
Good morning, Richard. I'm all right, my friend. It's a bit early for me, I've got to tell you. But
listen, I had bedhead. I did a little video yesterday. I hadn't even put any water on. I'm gonna have to get my hair cut. I hadn't even put any water on my hair, and it was just like that. It was like that. But I've got. It's a bit better this morning. But listen, everybody in the chat, you're all very welcome. We've got 700 people in at 9:30 on a Sunday morning now. It literally is against my religion to talk about politics on a Sunday. I don't normally do it. Paul knows, because Paul will come on and say, Richard, what about, and I don't really want to do a live stream. I do the odd one. But anyway, putting all that aside, this is, I think, I'm excited about this, Paul. I'm always the optimist. So when somebody throws me a bone with a few scraps of meat on it, I'm, like a Rottweiler on it. I'm gnawing at it straight away. What about you, Paul? What do you think of this? Let's just be straight. Is it a political stunt or is it genuine? That's the first question. I've been speaking to other people, senior people in politics, people that I trust about politics. And again, I'm really excited about it. What are your thoughts, Paul?
Well, I'm going to take it at face value, Richard. I'm going to look at it positively. That's the thing. I mean, look, we've been calling for months now for Rupert to unite. He has put out this amazing offer this morning. There are one or two things there that if you was going to be harsh, that you could point out. You could say that the points that Rupert points out that are non-negotiable might seem more like a takeover than an offer of a friendship, of a willingness to. But look, that's what negotiation's all about, right?
Well, it's when I was going to say, when you're going into a negotiation, yourself, you've been in business, you look at what you want, you add 100%, then you add another 100%, and then you get down to the actual nuts and bolts of what you really want. And I think if that's what this is, which is what I think it is, because look, Rupert's a businessman. I've
a very good one.
I spoke to Ben very briefly this morning about this, and again, Ben's saying that we need to do something. So everybody agrees that something needs to happen. And listen, Paul, I've been critical of everybody. I've savaged every single one of these people. That's just
exactly,
right. Yeah. And again, I'm really excited about it, Paul. I'll be honest with you, I'm really excited.
Richard, look, something is going on. Last night, for the first time in a while, I had an exchange with Tommy. I had an exchange with Ben last night, all within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then this morning, so things are moving. Richard, maybe people have been listening. Maybe people can actually see now that.
But I said that this morning to my wife. I said, look, I says they're actually paying attention to what we were saying. And she says, don't you go on your live stream and say that it's because of what you guys have been doing. But I'll be honest with you, Paul. Let's be honest. Okay, we are not the BBC or ITV, but people do actually listen. We know that very prominent people watch your live streams. Some of them even watch mine. And basically, it actually does have an impact. When we're constantly saying you've got to unify, that's been our consistent message since Advance left the field. And to be honest with you, see if this works. I don't give two hoots about what's happened with Advance. It's history. It's in the past. Like, let's focus on the future. And if Rupert and Tommy and Ben and Nigel and the people in Reform can get together, tell you, we're in for something special.
Well, this is the deal, Richard. Look, we know from conversations that we have outside of YouTube, we know that people in government watch our channel. We know that we know Rupert Lowe, we know Nigel Farage, we know Richard Tice, we know all these people watch our channels, right? We know that for an absolute fact. So look, the bottom line is this, is that if we have played even the smallest role but I think the bottom line is let's not, common sense has prevailed, right? Or should prevail. It doesn't really matter what you and me say. It doesn't really matter.
No, that's the point. That's the point. It's not. It's Paul. All we know, we've got our finger on the pulse. We know all of our viewers, right? And if I'm looking weird, I'm looking at the comments here, guys, because I want to get a lot of your comments up in this. We know what our viewers and our supporters want, Paul, and they basically want unity. They want these parties to come together. And I said this to Ben this morning. I said, look, most people. I've disengaged from politics, right? Until this morning, I was like, do you know what? I'm done with that. I'll vote. But I'm not going to promote any specific party. I'm going to basically just do my own thing and speak what I think about it. But now with this has excited me again. There's such potential here, Paul. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I've got really.
Well, Richard, I woke up this morning, I saw the messages, and I literally jumped out of bed like I haven't jumped out of bed for, well, many, many years. Yeah. The last time I jumped out of bed that quick, I was younger, and it was someone else's bed.
He jumped out of bed so quickly, his pajamas fell off.
But no, look, great news. I mean, look, I think the bottom line is common sense has to prevail. Now, I'm going to give Nick Tenconi some credit here, because Nick is one of the leaders that saw this very, very early. He was the first of the leaders of any party on the right. Let's put the size of the party to one side. That doesn't really matter. Nick was big enough, man enough, bold enough, and clever enough to see what needs to be done. He recognised it. So credit to Nick Tenconi. I hope that Nick is included on any negotiations. But the bottom line is, after the Manchester mayoral election and after the recent, we've had Galton and Denson, we've had Makerfield, now we've had the Manchester mayoral election. I mean, look, Richard, the writing is on the wall for even Stevie Wonder could see it.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think what's happened there, what Rupert has done has really stuck it on Nigel. And I think he's done it in a very magnanimous way. I think he's look, what Rupert has done, he's gone, they're just, everything he said this morning is restore policy, right? And I agree. There's only one tiny thing I don't agree with him, and I'm not going to go into that today. But maybe it's two things that I'm not 100% on. In fact, I am going to go into it. I think one of the things was the thing about people that had been in, I think, Tory cabinets can't be part of the the thing. Now, when it comes to Zahawi and Nadine Dorris, I agree 100%. When it comes to Suella Braverman, I don't agree, because I think she's very talented. I think she's a very good politician. But I understand where he's coming from in that as well, Paul. Because, the bottom line is we're sick of reinforcing failure. And really, to a great extent, that reform does look a bit like Tory 2.0. So even that, I'm not 100%. But it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. What matters now is hard, real politics. And these guys have got to get together in a room. And I think Tommy has to be included in that, because at the end of the day, whether you love or hate Tommy isn't the issue. He has a massive constituency of the British working class. He's got Elon's ear, and he is a major player. He's not a politician, but he's a major player on the political scene, and what he says, people listen to, right? So I think these guys, even if it's secretly, I don't give two hoots how they do it, Paul. Get them in a room, bring them together. I would love to see some of those conservative politicians like Claire Coutinho, Katie Lamb, Nick Timothy come across as well to this right wing coalition, because all of us are on the same page. I said it yesterday. Am I going to say it again? No, I'm not going to say it again. But
say it again, Richard, because I never heard.
Well, I've basically got, I've got Muslims moving into my street now, in my street in Northern Ireland, and to me, anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the point is, that would have never have happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And, people are seeing it in all their communities. I live in a sleepy little place in Northern Ireland. Goodness knows what it's like being a Christian English person living in Bradford, right? Horrendous, Birmingham, and there needs to be a massive shift in this. And
Richard,
Yeah.
can I say I have a very, very dear friend, someone that I trust and have known for years. He's a lovely family man.
Yeah.
He's a serving police officer.
Yeah.
And I would say that politically he's probably centre left.
Yeah.
We often have a little bit of back and forth about things, and we don't see eye to eye politically. He messaged me yesterday. He said, Paul, he said, I owe you an apology. I said, why is that? He said, I've just been to Camden Town for the first time in 25 years. He said, the place is a hive of criminality. It stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
And that's from a serving police. He said, mate, he said, you've been right all along.
Totally. Paul.
And that was nice to hear. But I just want to say that, look, Richard, this is the opportunity, potentially the chance that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
What we've got to do now is encourage. Doesn't matter if you support UKIP, if you support Restore, if you support Reform, if you support any party on the right. What we must do now is encourage our leaders, whoever your leader may be, to participate in this potential coalition. Because this coalition is, without a shadow of a doubt, it's not even negotiable. It is our only and last chance.
Yeah.
And we must do it. And by the way, Richard, there's a few little supers coming in there. If you could highlight them for us, it'd be.
Of course, mate.
We're on Richard's channel this morning, guys. The other thing that I wanted to say, whilst it's in my mind, the YouTube channel British Stand has been removed from YouTube for what appears to be no good reason. Good morning, Angelina. Thank you, Mandy. British Stand, please, YouTube, reinstate that channel. The guy's done nothing wrong. He's a good
I don't
guy.
understand. Does anybody know why that happened with British
No,
Stand?
no, Richard, we don't know. But what we do know is, what we do know is that the government have got their eyes all over all of us. This is why, Richard, this is why our channels have been suffering as much as they have been. If it wasn't for our loyal supporter base that bookmarks our channels and keeps an eye on what we're doing, our viewers will be down to, and that's the whole bloody point of what they're doing.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, I've been my channel's been strangled for years. I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to sound very arrogant, but I see some of the channels out there and some of the content that's getting put out there. They haven't got half the nous that me and you have got, Paul. They haven't got the wit, repartee, and good looks that we've got, and they're basically smashing it. And I'm just going, what is it about these people? But anyway, we'll not go into that. That's not what today's about. I think this is really, really important that we really take this at face value. And I'm gonna say why I think we should take this at face value, Paul. There's one phrase in this that I think sums it up, right? And it's this. I'll read a little bit out of the transcript. This is what he says: millions of people feel like strangers in their own communities. They work hard, pay their taxes, obey the law, and yet they see no fair reward for any of that. And this is the key, Paul. This is the key, right? This one phrase here. They see a patriotic right hopelessly divided. Now that's Rupert's. That's word for word what Rupert said in his statement that he's just put out. And I think that does sum up exactly how we all feel.
Yeah.
And I believe that is genuinely from the heart from Rupert. And do you know what, Paul? As much as I have massive misgivings about Nigel Farage, massive misgivings, and everybody knows that. And it's not a personal attack against his personality. It's what I've seen down through the years, the way that he's spoken about our people, right? About basically our movement, right? Since 2018. He's been getting it wrong since then about our movement. And that has to be addressed as well to me, Paul. Yes, the policy points are all right, but that lot being excluded from the political process is absolutely effing disgusting.
It's insane. It's insanity, Richard. Insanity.
It's not just insanity. It's there's something very, very badly wrong there. But look, let's put all that aside and let's say, I think that's one of the things. Whoever's if there's a negotiation, if Ben's involved, if Rupert's involved, Tommy to me has to be involved to represent us, right? So if that meeting happens, right, that has to be addressed. That BS about not letting that lot be involved in the political process, right? That has to be addressed massively.
I think the thing is as well, Richard. I think Nigel Farage is under immense pressure at the moment. He's got this investigation going on over the £5 million. I'm not sure.
Let me even say, Paul. Let me even say something very controversial here. Maybe it's time for Nigel to stand down.
Richard, I was just going to say, you took the words out of my mouth. I think Nigel has done some amazing work over the years. I do believe in my heart, I do believe that he is a patriot. I do believe.
Oh, I do. But there's a lot about Nigel I really like. So I'm not. This isn't the day for attacking anybody, Paul. Right? It's a day for celebrating what's been said and saying, do you know what? I'll listen to this, Paul. This is great. This is great. He's paid a £5 for it, right? So we'll let him have his say, right? The Civnats disgust me. You and Richard are the problem. You're okay with foreigners replacing the natives, mate. Thanks for the £5. You can keep wasting your money like that. I don't know whether you're giving it to Paul or giving it to me. I don't really care, right?
And I want to answer that.
Yeah, go for it, Paul.
I want to answer that. Anglo-Saxon, mate. Listen. You can call us what you like. You can call us a Civnat, a Divnat, an Fnat, a Pratnat for all I care. It doesn't really matter. The bottom line is we are not okay with foreigners replacing the natives. We are absolutely not okay with that. I don't know where you get that idea from. I tell you what I am against, and I don't speak for Richard now, I speak for myself. I tell you what I am against, Anglo-Saxon, is that I'm against some wonderful people that weren't given the grace of God and the benefit of being born a white British indigenous person. There are some wonderful people like my friend Craig, who takes care of me like a brother, who happens to be half black. I'm not sending those people home, Anglo-Saxon. I'm not sending Mr. Patel at the corner shop who works from 6 a.m. till midnight, who's got 2 lovely daughters who go to school, right? They pay their taxes. We don't want to see these people rounded up like it's 1939 in Germany and shipped off out of the country against their will. What we do want to do is we want to get rid of the illegals. We want to get rid of the illegal criminals. We want to get rid of the invaders. We want to get rid of the people that come to our country and hate our culture, not those that take part in it.
And let's be honest, Paul, right? Let's address this once and for all and put this to bed, okay? Because in Rupert's statement, he said that demographic change is unacceptable, that the white British cannot be replaced by 2063. I agree with him 100%.
100%.
Now, what does that make? What does that make me? You see, you're using silly labels, Anglo-Saxon. We're giving you the time of day because you've had the decency to come on and actually, pay for your position to be heard, and we're giving you a hearing. Civnat and Fnat means nothing. It's it's a ludicrous, and I'm not using those phrases anymore because it's a ludicrous phrase that's there to deliberately divide us.
Can we go back, Richard, to what we've always said?
Exactly.
Red, white, and blue in your heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If you genuinely have red, white, and blue in your heart, you believe in Christianity, you believe in our culture, you respect our history, you respect our culture, you respect our laws, then you're welcome. But what we also don't want to see is the white indigenous British people completely overrun.
Exactly right. And that's the whole point. I mean, the reality is if people are patriotic and they love the country, look, I'm not going to go down that road because he's trying to drag us into that anyway.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, mate, if you hadn't paid a £5, you'd have been banned from the channel. So there you go. Listen, mate, Anglo-Saxon, listen, mate, Anglo-Saxon, listen, brother, do me a favor, right? Before you start labeling us, right, listen to what we actually say, because if you listen to what we actually say and what I'm the one that's on the hit list for the Muslim Brotherhood. I'm the one that's got lefties targeting me. I'm the one that's got the press targeting me. I'm the one whose business has been destroyed for doing this. I'm the one that spent tens of thousands of pounds doing this for the past 10 years. So all I'm saying is, mate, don't judge a book by what you think it's saying inside the pages. Judge
Come
it
on,
by what
brother.
you
We're supposed to be on the same side here.
But anyway, look, you said fair play for reading, so that's fair enough, Anglo-Saxon. Fair play to you, mate, for making the point. Okay, anyway, this is about unity, Paul. That's what, and I think it's worth reading those things to just highlight that. So now, listen, this is again, whether they ever hear this or not, my message is this: if you're in reform, take this at face value. I don't know if it's a face value. I don't know Rupert's mind or heart, but from what I've read of it, and I've listened to the statement twice. I've read the statement word for word. There's one or two things in there that I'm not 100% with, but that's it. Yeah. That's it. It's nothing. It's like at the end of the day, these are negotiation points that I'm sure if this is a genuine move by Rupert, and all Nigel's got to say is, okay, Rupert, let's get down in a room and talk about this. If it's dismissed out of hand by Nigel, I think Nigel's finished, mate.
I think you're right.
Because I believe there'll be a lot of people in reform waking up this morning saying, "Thank goodness for that." There's a lot of people like me I'm politically disenfranchised. I'm still not won over by either side of the restore reform debate. Everyone knows where my loyalties were with Advance. So us floating voters, these guys need to win us over.
Here's the thing, Here's the thing, right? It puts me in a kind of a difficult spot because for some weeks now, months in fact, I've been backing reform as our only chance, etc. Right now, and I've also been calling to people to unite. Now, if Nigel now refuses to do that, how can I support him anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
How can we support a man that refuses to unite? Now, here's an irony. I was sitting.
Can I just read this by Charlie? Because Charlie's a good friend of your channel, Paul. Yeah, and a good friend of mine as well. Big love, boys. If Nigel doesn't accept this, they're going to lose a lot of support, including me. And I've been reformed through and through. Massive decision. So this is really. I could use all sort of analogies here, but I'm not going to. But it's really make your mind up time. Let's just put it that way.
Richard, I was sitting talking to Mrs. T last night, and I said, "Are you happy here?" She said, "Yeah, I'm all right." I said, "I don't really get the vibe that you're feeling it as much maybe as I'd like it to be." And she said, "Oh, I miss home." Right? I said, "Would you go home? If we could go home, would you go home?" And she didn't really answer, and I kind of knew what that meant, right? And then she said, "The trouble is, home doesn't exist anymore. Home doesn't exist anymore. The home that we knew, that we loved, that we grew up in, that we were brought up in, doesn't exist anymore." And she's right, Richard. It doesn't exist anymore, and we want it back. We want our home back. These lefties, they go out demonstrating and writing because they want other lands to have their home back, right? But they're okay with ours being taken away from us, and they call us racist and xenophobes for the pleasure of it.
Yep. No, I listen. I agree. I mean, the left are a massive problem, and this is what people got. We've got. Look, at the end of the day, in an alliance, you've got to make an alliance with people that you might hate, that you might not like, and that's what Rupert's done there. That's what Rupert has offered there. Now, if he's going to be totally dogmatic and say these are the 5 points, we're not going to have any wriggle room on these whatsoever, that's going to be a non-starter as well, Paul. That's when the rubber's going to really hit the road. Okay.
Yeah.
But I can safely say, look, listen to this. I'm going to read another little clip out of this speech.
Yeah.
Nothing demonstrates the demographic vandalism of mass immigration more than there's been a minority by 2063. And this is what he says: importing millions of people from third world nations is changing our population in a way none of us ever wanted or voted for. It is unacceptable and it cannot be allowed to happen. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah,
we must be unafraid to grasp that nettle, however painful the establishment backlash may be, and we know it's going to be painful. Now listen to this, and I agree with this, absolutely agree with this. Restore Britain has committed to reversing the Islamification of Britain, and that will not change. The level of influence that Islam have that Islam is exerting even now on our Christian way of life is unacceptable. Any future cooperation must include the banning of both halal and kosher slaughter. I'll get back to that in a minute. The burqa, cousin marriage, mass dominating public Islamic prayer, Sharia courts, and any other barbaric foreign practices that have no place in our high trust society. Now, when they announced the kosher thing initially, I was like, I'm not sure about that, because obviously we have a very small Jewish community and it's not as big as halal. I mean, halal's massive. But a lot of Jewish people are saying they can import the stuff anyway. So, I've got Jewish friends that are saying, well, to be honest with you, if it means that we deal with the Islamic thing, we're not really that bothered. Because if you put those policies into place, Paul, and this is where it gets real, if you put those policies into place, straight away, you're gonna basically see millions and millions of Muslims self-migrate back to the fundamentalists. The radical fundamentalists will not stay.
Richard, big message here. Henry has just put in a comment there. Lucy Conley has tweeted saying if Nigel refuses to unite, she's done with the party.
Wow.
Well done, Lucy. Well done, you brave
That's
girl.
massive.
This is what we need from everyone. And I tell you what else we need now, Richard. We need people like Ant Middleton to step up, call for unification.
Yeah.
We need everyone now that loves our country, step up, call for unification. Let's make this happen. This is, look, Richard, this is our dream come true. This is what we have been fighting for months and months. And
Unite
months.
The kingdom.
Unite the kingdom.
It was called that for a reason, Paul.
Exactly.
And this is what this is about, guys. So let's do this. And again, I know we've got friends in both camps here, Paul. Right? We've got friends that we were chatting to this morning. From both of us were chatting to someone from Reform this morning, and I think he's a Reform fanatic, and he's very happy about this. From what I can gather, he seems to be excited about this. So it's going to be interesting to see what some of our other Reform people say. But love to know what Howard Cox has got to say about this. This has actually breathed life into something that was. I was so down about the rate of politics, mate.
I was close. Richard, I was close to calling it a day.
I know you were. I know. But I taught you to stay. I taught you to keep me going, Paul.
Well, you can't walk away from something that you're so passionate about. But Richard, when the only obvious answer is staring you so bleeding obviously right in front of the face and people won't listen, it does your freaking head in. Now, I'm just wondering who has got into Rupert's head over the last few days to make him come up with this announcement. I don't know.
Well, I wonder, is it Elon Musk?
Well, it's gone through my mind.
And the bottom line is we can't underestimate the influence that Elon has over British politics. And Elon's not stupid. And I think he now realizes, probably because of your video, Paul. This will just trigger a whole lot of people.
Richard, you don't have to give me the credit, but you're more than welcome to. I'm only kidding.
Who knows? But look, now, I mean, the bottom line is it's a joint effort. Everybody's, So yeah, I mean, we need to. Some Tories in the comments. Look, here's the thing. Listen, guys, the Tory party probably need to be involved in this too. As much as I hate to say it,
mate, Nick, listen, brother. The nation is full of drips. What we got to do is we got to turn those drips into a tap that turns on. Right?
Richard only reads out what those that agree with him. I thought this was Paul's show. There you go, Phil. I've read out your message, mate.
Phil,
listen, if you saw how many comments were coming in, the thing is, me and Paul are in total agreement, Phil. So there you go, mate. Thanks for the comment. Bless you, brother.
By the way, Phil, I think Villa are going to do well again this season. Taxi driver Islam must be stopped. Richard, look, listen. The bottom line is, for once, we've woken up to some bloody good news, right?
Yep.
But it's down to all of us now, and I would say particularly members of Reform, to put pressure on their leaders, on their regional organisers, to push this message of unification. And going back to what you said a minute ago, Richard, I just want to ask you a question, because I was looking before we came online. Let me just see if I can find the... here we go, right? So if North. Do you want to answer that, Richard?
Yeah, I do. North, listen, mate. I'm going to tell you something, right? You know absolutely nothing about what that demonstration was about outside Downing Street. If you'd actually read what the sign said, it said, refugees welcome, migrant criminals are not. It was a play on words. It was an anti-immigration demonstration I was at. North, you haven't even got the balls to actually say who you are. You don't put your face out there. You're a coward who's running with a flipping, without even a name, right? So until you put your boots on and put your head above the parapet, your opinion about me is completely irrelevant. But it's not too early in the morning for you to get an absolute shredding. So go back to your computer, go back and do your online warrior stuff, and just realize that this could be a day where we actually see the country saved. I don't know whether you're in the National Front or whatever you're in, but just clear off and go and play in a corner with all your pals. All right.
Rich, let's go back to Nigel Farage for a moment, because you said about.
Sorry, I just like savaging people every now and then.
Paul. Richard, you do it. North, don't take it too personally, mate. He does it to me offline, so I mean.
I do it online to you as well, Paul.
Yeah, we have it's like being in an abusive relationship with Richard. He savages me, and I keep coming back for more.
I know you like it. You're into that S&M stuff, Paul.
I like it rough, Rich. I like it rough. Yeah. Right, Richard. Oh, don't.
We haven't got any hair to pull anymore, Paul.
I've got more than you.
That's true.
Mind you, not as much as Danny lately. Have you seen he's growing his barnet, mate? He's looking
mate, listen, he's had a transplant. Come on.
He's looking like he's
see if it's all curly on the front, he's had a transplant.
Right, let's get back to business, right? So if let's just say, let's do a bit of surmising just for the fun of it. Let's say Nigel agrees to a deal, great. Let's say he doesn't, and let's say the hassle that he's going through at the moment means that he needed to move on. Looking at the latest odds here, on Odds Checker, the next leader of Reform UK, Robert Jenrick is 3-1. Zia Youssef is 4-1. Richard Tice 11-2. Sienna Churcher 16-1. Rupert Lowe 16-1. Suella Braveman 16-1. Layla Cullenham 20-1. Matt Goodwin 20-1. And I think there's another one under there, but I can't see what the name is. Your favourite out of those, Richard? Who would your choice be if Nigel was going to be replaced?
Out of the ones you just read out. I mean, I think it's unfortunately it's very unlikely that Rupert's going to be able to step back in and become leader straight away. I think we've got to take Rupert out.
I'll be
honest with you. Jenrick, look, I'll never forget what Jenrick did when he basically tried to. Well, he did. He turned the security forces on innocent protesters outside migrant hotels, and that caused all sorts of problems for people.
Isn't it time we have to look past that now?
No, absolutely not. No, I don't trust Robert Jenrick. I'm just going to now. If I'm going to be honest, Paul, you've asked me my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I don't trust Robert Jenrick. Here's a problem we got with Reform straight away.
Who would your choice be, Richard? Come on.
Well, let me just go into some of the choices. Two of those choices you gave me were Muslims, Layla Cunningham and Zia Youssef.
Yeah,
that's a problem for me as well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest, right? Because and that might sound very bigoted and very xenophobic, but it is what it is.
Here's a question.
So I would say out of the if we could have Rupert as leader, yes, I would have Rupert as leader. Right.
Let's remove Rupert from the equation. Let's just say he remains leader of Restore.
Then I would go with Suella personally. I would go with Suella.
I think from the general public's viewpoint, despite what you said, from the general public's viewpoint, Robert Jenrick is probably the most credible to the wider public, to Middle England. Putting what you said to one side, because the public aren't going to know about what you told us, Richard. In general, they're not going to be aware.
Well, I mean, he said it on the floor of Parliament, so it's not like he.
Yeah, but they're not. It's not going to be in their heads, is it? Robert Jenrick,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure the public will vote for a Tory, mate.
Yeah,
I mean, you're basically creating the Tory Party 2.0. There, I think that's I would say Suella or even Richard Tice if that's all we've got. If we can't have Rupert.
Well, Suella is an ex-Tory, of course, as well. Richard Tice, I don't think he's strong enough.
Who else was in there?
Well, one of the guys that was put forward this morning by a friend of ours is Matt Goodwin. I'm not sure that Matt Goodwin is likeable enough.
I like Matt Goodwin, but again, what you need, do you know what? I don't think there's anyone apart from Rupert that I would from that list you gave me. If it was, if Ben's name was in there, I'd go for Ben. Suella, I would, if it couldn't be Rupert, I'd go for Suella on that one, Paul. That's just yeah.
Yeah, I like Suella massively myself. I know a lot of people will may disagree with that for whatever reason, but I'm a big fan of Suella's myself. I think she's a very genuine individual. What's going on in the chat, Richard? Anything?
Yeah, I think most people are being very, very positive about it. If we do not unite as Christians, our Europe will suffer another 5-year Islamic Caliphate. Absolutely agree with that. People have got to understand that that's how the Caliphate managed to establish itself, and that's how they managed to actually defeat the Crusade. Well, not defeat the Crusaders, but push the Crusaders back because of the split in the Christian Church in the Middle Ages. So that's what we're looking at. Do not corner Farage. He likes making his own decisions, won't like being pushed. I agree that he won't, but do you know what? Suck it up, Nigel.
Yeah.
It's as simple. Suck it up and get in a room.
This is the bottom line, Richard. There's one bottom line here. It's time for the real men of England, the real men of the United Kingdom now, to step up, to save our country, to do the right thing. And anyone that doesn't do the right thing is no friend of ours. That's the bottom line. And this is why we've been critical of Rupert in the past, because, splitting the right-wing vote, the patriotic vote, was never a good idea. But now the plan could potentially come together and things could work out. Could we see in the chat there? Can you, because there are some things that are spare, can you put in the chat happy or unhappy? Are you happy about this morning's announcement and the potential for a coming together, or are you unhappy? Are you not happy that this could potentially happen? Let's have a little vote, a little look in the chat. Happy or unhappy?
I just put happy or unhappy about unity. Yeah, there you go. Most people. There we go. Loads of happy. Straight away, happy. No one said they're unhappy. Pensive. Someone's saying they're pensive. There's always one in there. There's always one, the bladdernator.
David says, Paul and Richard, you need to do another live tonight. I think we need to commit to that tonight, Richard. Another live, I think, this evening.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how the day goes.
This time, I promise I'll have clothes on. And by the way, I know it's a bit early in the morning. I am actually wearing some shorts. I'm not sitting in.
He's not. What he doesn't realise is his webcam slipped down. It was absolutely dreadful.
No, I'd show you me shorts, Richard, but I don't want to get the girls excited. You know what it's like. And some of the boys, you never know. It's a free world, right?
Oh, dear. Paul, we can always count on you to lower the tone, can't we? You know what I mean? But
you got to be, Richard, you got to have a bit of a joke here and there, haven't you? We've got to have a bit of banter.
Well, that's what we always try and do, mate. I think some people don't realise that a lot of the time we're just having a bit of fun with people and just.
How else could I cope with Richard the Garden Gnome for all these?
God, no. Never been called that before, mate.
All you need is a fishing rod. Do you know what? If I woke up in the morning one day and you were sitting outside my front door with a fishing rod, I probably wouldn't look twice,
mate. The bottom line is you're 20 miles from the sea, mate. So that would show a serious mental health crisis on my part, mate. Now, if I'm sitting outside the house with a shotgun, then you're in real trouble, Paul.
Then I'll be worried. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, listen, that's some positive news. I think most people in the chat are happy, and
what's that looking like, Richard?
It's looking happy. Everybody's happy.
Is there any unhappies amongst it?
Not really. Can you not see the chat on your phone, though?
Well, I'm on my laptop, Richard. I'm on my laptop. I haven't got YouTube up.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, everybody seems to be happy. Guys, we're going to go, and we may do one later on. It depends on what happens today. There's a lot going on, but let's wait and see what happens. And I think it's great. I think it's great news, and let's just hope they manage to do it, Paul. Let's hope it's not another false dawn, you know.
I just took right then, just took a bit of a sigh of relief because Richard, we're getting desperate, right? We're both getting to the point where we were getting desperate. I think that probably has been obvious and reflective in some of the videos. Certainly, I've been, mate. You're a bit more. I think I sometimes wear my heart on my sleeve a bit too much, and I give too much away. Let's have a look. Paul's like the ugly pole dancer. We could put him to get dressed. There you go, guys. There you go. I love that.
Let's get those super chats coming. It's a £20 super chat for every sock he puts on. Right?
I'll put the stripper music on, and I'm putting clothes on instead of taking them off. Nice one, Anthony. I love that, mate. I tell you what, I've got to tell you, mate. If anyone says it's not, I don't know. What's the weather like back at home at the moment?
It's beautiful. It's nice. It's great. Even in Northern Ireland, it's sunny.
Mate. I tell you what, it's been so humid here, right, that you start leaking just sitting down. You know what I mean?
Paul, do you know what? Like I said to you the other day, come to Northern Ireland. It's like Tenerife with petrol bombs, mate. It's lovely.
Yeah, I can't wait. Right.
Okay, guys. Thanks for. That was, we had 2,000 people there. This time in the morning.
Crazy. 2,000 people on a Sunday morning. Million.
Absolutely great. Okay, guys. We might see you later on. Depends if Paul talks me into it. And it's good news for once. See you soon, guys.